You want to know why you keep breaking down every time life gets hard? Because your mind is soft. You've trained your body to grind, but you've never trained your mind to endure. Being mentally untouchable isn't about ignoring pain. It's about owning it. It's about being the one no insult can pierce, no setback can shake, no chaos can control. Every battle you face starts in your head, and this audiobook will teach you how to win there first. You don't need their validation. You don't need their permission. You just need to build a mind so strong that nothing can move it. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Stop breaking at small things. You break because you've been trained to avoid resistance. That's the truth. You've built comfort, not character. And the world doesn't reward comfort. It rewards endurance. Every time life gets a little inconvenient, you crack, you panic, you complain. You start to question everything. Not because the problem is big, but because you're soft. You've built your life around avoiding difficulty instead of mastering it. That's why you keep starting over. That's why small challenges feel like major disasters. You've been protecting your comfort zone instead of expanding your capacity. And here's the hard truth. If you don't toughen your mind, the world will do it for you. That's the key. Life doesn't care about your feelings. It responds to your strength. You have a choice. Either you harden yourself through discipline or you get hardened by disappointment. There is no middle ground. Look at the people you admire, the calm ones, the composed ones, the consistent ones. Do you think they got there by avoiding struggle? No, they got there by enduring it. Every setback was a test. Every loss was a lesson. Every failure was mental training. They learned to stop breaking at small things. You see, pressure doesn't create weakness. It reveals it. When your plans fall apart, when people disappoint you, when you feel misunderstood, that's when your mind's true condition is exposed. And here's the reality most people refuse to face. If minor stress can break you, how will you handle major storms? If a little discomfort can derail your focus, how will you survive real chaos? This world is not gentle. It will test your patience, your faith, and your emotional endurance every single day. And if you fold at the first sign of resistance, life will keep folding you again and again. Every time you run from stress, you train your brain to surrender faster next time. Every time you give in to frustration, you teach yourself to crumble when pressure builds. You are programming your mind. The question is, what are you programming it for? Comfort or control? Weakness or strength? You have a choice, and that's the power most people never use. Let me make something clear. This isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming emotionally efficient. You can feel, but you can't fold. You can care, but you can't collapse. Discipline doesn't kill emotion. It channels it. The strongest people in the world still feel pain. They just don't let pain dictate their performance. You don't get stronger by escaping stress. You get stronger by managing it. You don't get calmer by avoiding pressure. You get calmer by thriving under it. That's the training. That's the test. Every setback is mental weight. You lift it or it crushes you. That's the rule. Think about it this way. You can't expect mental strength if you only practice comfort. You can't expect toughness if you avoid tension. That's like wanting muscles without lifting. The mind grows through resistance. The moment you stop running from small problems, you start building real power. Start with small things. Get up when you said you would. Finish what you start. Don't let small annoyances pull you into emotional chaos. Train yourself to stay calm when weak minds panic, because that's what separates you from the average. Everyone can perform when it's easy. Few can perform when it's uncomfortable. And that's where the game is won. You have to change your relationship with stress. Stop seeing it as an attack. Start seeing it as an opportunity. Pressure is a signal. It's life's way of saying, This is your next level. When you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, what's being trained right now? Your patience? Your focus? Your control? The challenge is the classroom. The struggle is the syllabus. Learn from it or repeat the lesson until you do. The difference between the weak and the strong isn't genetics. It's tolerance. Strong people simply endure more. They don't have easier lives. They just stopped expecting ease. That's the key. Stop expecting life to get lighter. Expect yourself to get stronger. And let's be honest, you already know what's holding you back. It's the small things, the little inconveniences that throw you off, the rude comment that ruins your day, the delay that kills your motivation, the rejection that sends you spiraling. You break at small things because you still believe your emotions deserve the final word. They don't. You do. You don't need to feel strong to act strong. You act strong until strength becomes your default. That's how the mind is trained. So the next time something small tries to break you, pause, breathe, ask yourself, what if this isn't a problem? What if it's practice? That mindset shift alone can transform your life. Real toughness isn't about aggression. It's about control. It's about being unshakable when others fall apart. It's about being the calm eye in the middle of chaos. You can't fake that. You can't pretend to have it. You earn it through repetition, through facing frustration without flinching, through enduring discomfort without quitting, through meeting pressure and saying, "Try me." That's mental armor. That's inner strength. That's what separates the durable from the disposable. So here's your challenge. Every day, confront something uncomfortable on purpose. Wake up earlier than you want to. Finish that task even when you're tired. Have that hard conversation instead of avoiding it. Do the thing your emotions don't feel like doing. Why? Because every act of discipline builds resilience. And every time you refuse to break, you reinforce your foundation. Remember, the world rewards endurance, not emotion. It respects those who hold their composure when everyone else is losing theirs. You have a choice. Break at small things, or use small things to build a big mind. Toughen your mind, or the world will toughen it for you. Repeat that until it becomes your standard. Because that's the truth. That's the key. When life gets hard, you won't panic, you'll perform. When others complain, you'll adapt. When weak minds quit, you'll continue. Because you stop breaking at small things. You build a mind that bends, but never breaks. And that's where real power begins. You've learned to stop breaking at small things. Now it's time to take control of what breaks most people, their emotions. Let's go deeper. Chapter 2, Emotional Control is self-respect. You lose nothing by staying calm, but you lose everything when you lose control. Let's get one thing straight. Losing control isn't passion. It's weakness in disguise. The one who controls their emotions controls the room. Always. That's the key. Emotional control is not about suppression. It's about self-respect. It's about knowing you are bigger than your impulses. It's about refusing to hand your power over to chaos. You have a choice. In every confrontation, in every disagreement, in every setback, you have a choice to react or to respond. And that choice defines your level of power. The weak react. The strong respond. The weak explode. The strong breathe. The weak get lost in emotion. The strong use emotion as fuel. Control yourself and you command your world. Every time you lose your temper, every time you get dragged into drama, every time you explode over something small, you're giving someone else control over you. You're saying, here, take my peace, take my focus, take my energy. You don't need their permission to stay calm. You don't need their approval to be composed. You need discipline. Because the truth is, emotional control is not a natural gift. It's a trained skill. You build it through awareness, repetition, and restraint. You build it by catching yourself in the moment. That's the training. That's the mental gym most people skip. Most people confuse emotional expression with emotional power. They think yelling is strength. They think overreacting shows passion. They think venting is leadership. They're wrong. Control is power. Stillness is strength. Calm is command. If you can't control yourself, you can't control your outcomes. If you can't control your emotions, you'll always be controlled by someone who can. And that's the truth most people run from. You have a choice. Live as a slave to your impulses, or rise as a master of your reactions. That's the difference between emotional chaos and emotional intelligence. Here's the reality. Your emotions are signals, not shackles. They're meant to inform you, not control you. Feel them, observe them, then decide how to respond. That's maturity. That's mastery. That's how you keep your power in any situation. You can feel anger without being consumed by it. You can feel sadness without drowning in it. You can feel frustration without acting foolishly. That's emotional control. That's the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is instinct. Responding is discipline. And discipline is what separates the fragile from the formidable. Let's talk about what emotional control really looks like in the real world. When someone disrespects you, you pause. When someone lies about you, you pause. When someone tries to provoke you, you pause. You don't match their energy. You manage it. You don't stoop to their level. You stand firm at yours. That's how you keep control of the room. That's how you own your presence. People expect you to lose it. They expect you to lash out. They expect you to let emotion drive you into chaos. When you don't, they lose power because your control exposes their instability. Your calm makes their noise look small. That's power. That's the kind of power that can't be faked. Here's a truth you need to remember. You can't claim to be mentally strong if you're emotionally reactive. You can't claim to be in control of your life if every insult, delay, or disappointment pulls you off balance. You have to earn calm through repetition, through restraint, through refusing to take the bait. When your mind starts to spiral, slow down. When anger builds, breathe. When ego speaks, stay silent. That's the formula. Control yourself. Command your world. You don't need to prove your worth through reaction. You don't need to explain yourself to chaos. You don't need to fight battles that don't build you. It's not about silence. It's about strategy. When you control your emotions, you make better decisions. You speak with precision. You act with intention. You choose logic over noise. That's emotional dominance. And don't get it twisted. Emotional control doesn't make you cold. It makes you clear. It's not detachment from feeling. It's mastery of feeling. It's using emotion as information, not ammunition. Now, here's a practice I want you to build into your daily life. The pause principle. Before you react, pause. Before you speak, pause. Before you decide, pause. That single moment of awareness will save you from 90% of emotional mistakes. Pausing doesn't make you slow. It makes you strategic. It's not hesitation. It's power conservation. You're giving yourself time to respond with strength instead of emotion. You're reminding yourself that control isn't about suppression. It's about direction. That's the key. Control doesn't mean bottling things up. It means guiding energy with purpose. Anger can build or destroy. It depends on how you channel it. Sadness can humble or weaken. It depends on how you process it. Fear can paralyze or sharpen. It depends on how you face it. You have a choice every time emotion rises. React impulsively or respond intelligently. Control yourself. Command your world. Let me give you something practical. When you feel triggered, breathe through it. Don't rush to respond. Count your breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. That simple act slows the chaos. It brings logic back online. It creates space between stimulus and response. And in that space, your power lives. That's the battlefield of mental toughness. Right there, in that pause, the world tries to pull you into reaction. But when you stay calm, you win before you even respond. Because calm minds control outcomes. Remember this. Your emotions are your responsibility. No one else is to blame for how you handle them. The world will always test you. People will provoke you. Life will challenge you. You have a choice. Fall apart or stand firm. When you control yourself, you project strength. When you control yourself, you create trust. When you control yourself, you earn respect. Emotional control is not just power, it's peace. It's the foundation of leadership, confidence, and composure. It's the mark of someone who refuses to be shaken by the world. Control yourself, command your world. That's the mantra. That's the mindset. That's self-respect. You've learned how emotional control builds strength and commands respect. But to hold that control, you must master the foundation of it all, your breath. Let's go deeper. Chapter 3. Stop proving and start doing. You're wasting power trying to be seen. You're wasting energy trying to be understood. And you're wasting time trying to impress people who don't even care. Let's cut straight to the truth. The need to be seen is the disease of weak minds. It's mental poison. It kills focus, it kills drive, and it kills results. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You need discipline. That's the key. Discipline over validation. Results over recognition. Action over attention. Here's the harsh reality. Most people aren't chasing growth. They're chasing approval. They don't want mastery. They want applause. They don't want to get better. They just want to look better. And that's why they stay stuck. That's why they never break through. You can't build strength while begging to be noticed. You can't become great while craving validation. You have to choose. Do you want progress or attention? Because you can have both. You have a choice. Every single day, you choose, build in silence or perform for the crowd. The crowd gives you noise. Silence gives you results. The people who achieve the most say the least. They're not showing every move. They're not bragging about every step. They're too busy doing the work. That's the truth about real power. It's quiet. It's calm. It doesn't need to announce itself. Think about the strongest people you know. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need to post their grind. They don't need to tell you how disciplined they are. They just are. Their results speak. Their consistency speaks. Their peace speaks. That's what you should aim for. Quiet power. You don't need their permission. You don't need their validation. You need execution. Validation is a trap. It looks like motivation, but it's manipulation. It gives you a hit of approval that fades fast and leaves you dependent. You post your progress. They cheer. You stop posting. They forget. Now you're chasing that next hit. That's not discipline. That's addiction. You're addicted to being seen instead of obsessed with becoming great. You have to break that cycle. You have to choose real growth over public approval, because validation is a drug and the world is full of addicts. And here's the truth. When you need to be seen, you can be controlled. But when you no longer care, you become unstoppable. That's the key. You need to shift from proving to producing, from showing off to showing up, from being loud to being lethal. Your energy should go into the work, not the presentation of the work. Because the work is what changes you. The applause never will. Stop trying to look disciplined. Be disciplined. Stop trying to look confident. Be confident. Stop trying to look successful. Be successful. You don't need to explain your moves. You don't need to announce your grind. You need to execute. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You just need to keep moving. Here's what happens when you stop proving. Your focus returns. Your peace deepens. Your results multiply. Because you're no longer splitting your energy between performance and progress. You're no longer living for opinions. You're living for outcomes. You stop asking, "Do they notice me?" and start asking, "Did I improve today?" That's a shift. That's when everything changes. Let's get practical. Here's what building without proving actually looks like. When you achieve something, you don't rush to post it. You double down. When someone doubts you, you don't argue. You outwork them. When no one claps, you keep going anyway. Because it's not about them. It's about you. Your goals, your growth, your standard. Every time you do the work in silence, you raise your internal baseline. Every time you choose progress over performance, you strengthen your mind. You're training yourself to operate independently from the world's attention. That's freedom. That's focus. That's real mental toughness. Most people can't handle that kind of silence. They need the noise. They need the comments. They need to feel seen to feel enough. But you're building something different. You're building peace through performance. You're building confidence through consistency. You're building strength through solitude. You don't need the crowd to tell you you're doing well. You know you are because you can see it in the mirror. You can feel it in your discipline. You can measure it in your results. You don't need their permission. You don't need their validation. You need mastery. That's the path of the mentally untouchable. Let's be real. There's a difference between wanting success and wanting to be seen as successful. One builds, the other broadcasts. One thrives in silence. The other craves a spotlight. Ask yourself, are you building a legacy or performance? Legacy doesn't need attention. Performance dies the moment the clapping stops. If your self-worth depends on likes, followers, or praise, you're not free. You're a performer trapped in your own show. And every performer eventually burns out. But the builder, the one who keeps going no matter who's watching, they last. They endure. They win quietly. And when they do speak, the world listens. So here's the challenge. For the next 30 days, stop posting progress. Stop seeking approval. Do the work quietly. Measure growth privately. Let your life become the proof. Because when you stop proving and start doing, everything changes. Your energy compounds. Your focus sharpens. Your self-respect grows. You realize you never needed the noise. You just needed the discipline. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You need to execute. Consistently, quietly, relentlessly. Stop proving. Start doing. You've learned to build quietly, to find power in progress instead of performance. Now, it's time to confront the enemy that stops most people before they even begin: comparison. Chapter 4. Pain is the path to power. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your instructor. It's your test. It's your gym. Every painful experience is a workout for your mind. Every hardship is a set. Every setback is a rep. Every struggle is a stretch. You either grow from it or you quit because of it. That's the truth. Pain doesn't destroy you. It exposes you. It reveals your limits so you can expand them. It strips away your comfort so you can rebuild with clarity. You have a choice. Run from it or rise through it. Avoid the burn or embrace it as your training. Weakness leaves when you stop avoiding the burn. That's the key. See, most people waste years trying to live pain-free. They avoid discomfort, dodge difficulty, and hide from anything that makes them sweat mentally or physically. But the ones who win, they lean into the pain. They understand pain is the toll you pay for power. You can't build strength without strain. You can't grow without grind. And you can't evolve without endurance. Every painful experience is life shaping you. Every moment of discomfort is a signal that you're being stretched into something stronger. Pain is not punishment. It's preparation. Let's get something straight. You don't grow from comfort. Comfort never built greatness. Comfort breeds complacency. Complacency breeds weakness. And weakness destroys potential. Pain, on the other hand, forges identity. It hardens the mind. It sharpens the focus. It strengthens the will. The ones who rise above are not the ones who avoid pain. They're the ones who master it. They don't say, "Why me?" They say, "Try me." That's how warriors are built. Through struggle, through challenge, through pressure. Every time life knocks you down, you have an opportunity. You can either sit in self-pity, or you can train your endurance. You can either complain, or you can condition your mind. You can either fold, or you can fortify. Pain teaches you more than success ever could. Success feels good. Pain makes you good. Success rewards you. Pain refines you. Success is the after party. Pain is the work. If you're uncomfortable, you're in the right place. If it hurts, it's working. If it burns, it's building you. Suffer with purpose, and you'll never suffer for nothing. That's the rule. Think about your life. The moments that changed you the most, were they easy? No, they were the moments that hurt the most. The heartbreaks, the failures, the losses, the times when everything seemed to fall apart. But what happened after? You grew, you adapted, you became wiser, sharper, stronger. That's the process. That's pain doing its job. You can't skip it. You can't hack it. You can only go through it. Pain builds patience. Pain builds presence. Pain builds perspective. The weak try to numb it. The strong use it. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be relentless. You don't need to enjoy pain. You need to understand it. Pain is not the obstacle. It's the opportunity. The problem is, most people think pain means something's wrong. But in reality, pain means something's changing. Growth and pain are twins. You can't have one without the other. That's the truth no one wants to hear. You can read all the motivational quotes you want, but until you make peace with pain, you'll never find power. You have a choice every time it hurts. Break down or break through. Complain or conquer. Retreat or rebuild. You have a choice. When you start to see pain as proof you're growing, everything shifts. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, "This is happening for me." That's the turning point. That's where resilience begins. Every challenge you face is teaching you something vital. Pain teaches humility. Pain teaches patience. Pain teaches perseverance. And most importantly, pain teaches you to rely on yourself. Because when you're in pain, the noise fades. The fake friends disappear. The world gets quiet. And you're left with one question. Who am I without comfort? That's when the real training begins. You see, pain will introduce you to yourself. It will show you your weaknesses, but also your strength. It will reveal what truly matters and what never did. It will strip away illusion and leave only truth. And if you're brave enough to stay with it, to breathe through it, to work through it, to learn from it, you'll come out stronger than you ever imagined. Suffer with purpose, and you'll never suffer for nothing. Let me tell you something. Every great achievement is born from discomfort. Every great story has moments of pain. Every great transformation demands sacrifice. You don't get to skip that part. You don't get power without the process. You don't get peace without the pressure. You earn it. You earn it through persistence, through grit, through relentless forward motion, no matter how much it hurts. And here's what's crazy. Once you've suffered enough times with purpose, pain loses its power to scare you. It becomes familiar, predictable, manageable. You stop running from it. You start using it. That's the moment you become mentally untouchable. Because if pain can't break you, nothing can. You become grounded in hardship. You become forged in adversity. You become unstoppable. That's the point of it all. That's why pain is the path to power. So the next time you're hurting, remind yourself, this is the workout. This is the rep. This is where the weak quit and the strong rise. Don't run. Don't hide. Don't numb. Face it. Feel it. Use it. Because pain will pass, but what it builds will stay. And when you suffer with purpose, you'll never suffer for nothing. That's the law of strength. That's the mindset of warriors. That's the foundation of an unbreakable mind. You have a choice. Avoid the burn and stay weak, or embrace the burn and grow stronger. That's the key. Suffer with purpose, and you'll never suffer for nothing. You've learned to endure pain and turn it into power. Now it's time to master the next level, the engine that sustains every warrior when motivation dies. Chapter 5, Discipline over Motivation. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning when the spark goes out. You already know this. You felt it before. That surge of energy after watching an inspiring video or hearing a powerful quote. You feel unstoppable for a few hours, maybe a day. Then it fades. The fire dies. The feelings disappear. That's the trap. Most people live their lives chasing motivation, like addicts chasing a high. They wait for inspiration. They wait to feel ready. They wait for the right conditions, the right energy, the right time. But the strong don't wait. The strong move because it's required. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. That's the key. Discipline doesn't care about your feelings. Discipline doesn't need hype. Discipline doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Discipline acts, even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. You have a choice every single day. Move or make excuses. That's it. The weak operate on emotion. The strong operate on principle. The weak say, I'll do it when I feel like it. The strong say, I'll do it because it needs to be done. That's the difference between being average and being great. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. The strong don't rely on emotion. They rely on execution. It's not about mood. It's about muscle memory. You wake up. You do the work. You show up. You stay consistent. You execute the plan, no matter how you feel. Because if your actions depend on your emotions, your life will always be unstable. You'll rise and fall with your moods. You'll start strong and fade fast. You'll never build momentum. Motivation might start the race, but only discipline finishes it. That's why most people quit. They mistake feeling inspired for being committed. They think energy equals endurance. But when the feeling fades, and it always does, they stop showing up. That's why your mindset has to shift from, I'll do it when I'm motivated, to, I'll do it because it's my standard. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel good. Stop waiting for motivation. Do it because it's required. Do it because it's who you are. Do it because consistency is your identity. That's the difference between amateurs and professionals. The amateur acts when they feel inspired. The professional acts because they've decided who they are. It's not about feeling good. It's about staying consistent. That's the rule. Discipline means you do what you said you do, long after the mood you set it in has left you. Read that again. That's the difference between goals that stay dreams and goals that become reality. Because discipline doesn't negotiate. Discipline doesn't look for shortcuts. Discipline doesn't need applause. Discipline is lonely. It's quiet. It's unglamorous. It's waking up when no one's watching. It's showing up when no one cares. It's doing it again and again, until your effort becomes automatic. That's how excellence is built, not through emotion, but through repetition. Discipline isn't exciting, but it's effective. The truth is, you don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your discipline. If your discipline is weak, your results will crumble. If your discipline is strong, your results will last. You have a choice. You can chase the high of motivation, or you can build the habit of discipline. And make no mistake, discipline is built. You train it like a muscle. You grow it through consistency, not comfort. Every time you act when you don't feel like it, you strengthen it. Every time you follow through when you'd rather quit, you grow it. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you prove that your standards matter more than your emotions. That's how self-respect is built. That's how confidence is earned. When you can trust yourself to do what's necessary, no matter how you feel, you become unstoppable. That's why discipline is freedom. It looks restrictive from the outside, but it's the opposite. When you're disciplined, you control your world. When you're undisciplined, your world controls you. You don't need more motivation. You need structure. You need standards. You need systems that don't depend on feelings. Build routines that don't care about your emotions. Set habits that trigger action. Eliminate the need to decide every day whether you feel like it. Because every time you make that choice, your brain will take the easy way out. That's how motivation tricks you. It whispers, rest a day. You've earned it. It lies to you, and you believe it because it feels good. But discipline tells the truth. Discipline says, you haven't earned rest yet. You're not done. And when you listen to that voice, the hard one, you grow stronger every time. That's the voice that builds legacies. That's the voice that wins wars. That's the voice that finishes what motivation starts. Discipline over motivation every time. Let me give you something practical. Start by creating non-negotiables. Small, daily actions that you commit to no matter what. The gym, reading, planning, waking up early. Whatever matters to your mission, do it every single day. Not when it's convenient, not when you feel like it, every day. Second, track your discipline, not your motivation. Don't ask, how motivated do I feel today? Ask, did I keep my word today? That's the real measure of growth, not feelings. Follow through. Third, cut the noise. Stop scrolling for inspiration. Stop watching others live disciplined lives. Start living one, because the only quote that matters is your own consistency. You have a choice. Stay comfortable and inconsistent, or stay committed and unstoppable. It's not about feeling good. It's about staying consistent. When you wake up tired, show up. When you feel unmotivated, show up. When it's raining, when it's boring, when it's hard, show up. Because the discipline of showing up again and again rewires who you are. It turns effort into instinct. It turns struggle into stability. And once you've built that foundation, you don't chase motivation anymore. You are the motivation. That's the shift. That's the transformation. Motivation starts a journey. Discipline finishes it. It's not about hype, it's about habits. It's not about inspiration, it's about implementation. It's not about feeling good, it's about staying consistent. That's the key. When you make discipline your default, you become unstoppable. Because nothing external can control you anymore. Not your feelings, not your mood, not the weather, not the noise. You move because it's required. You act because it's who you are. You win because you refuse to quit. That's discipline over motivation. You've built your discipline. You've learned to act without emotion. Now it's time to aim that discipline at something higher, something few people ever master. Chapter 6, The Power of Silence. Silence is power. Silence is control. Silence is your greatest weapon in a world addicted to noise. Most people can't stand silence. They fill every moment with sound, chatter, and distraction. They speak to prove something, to be seen, to be heard. But the loud reveal themselves. The still command attention. You have to understand this. Silence isn't weakness. It's dominance. Because the one who doesn't need to talk has already won. In every room, every argument, every situation, watch who talks first, who talks most, who reacts fastest. That's usually the one losing control, because silence is composure, and composure is command. When you're silent, you're not absent, you're assessing, you're watching, you're learning, you're controlling the only thing that truly matters, your response. That's the key. When you speak less, you think more clearly. You observe what others miss. You see patterns, behaviors, weaknesses. Most people react. The disciplined observe. That's what makes you mentally untouchable. You move with intention, not impulse. You have a choice every day to join the noise or to master the silence. When you master silence, you stop feeding chaos. You stop giving energy to nonsense. You stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand. You realize you don't owe anyone a reaction. You don't need to defend every decision. You don't need to respond to every insult, because silence speaks louder than any argument ever could. Silence says, I'm in control. Silence says, you can't shake me. Silence says, I don't play emotional games. Speak less, see more, control everything. That's the repetition you need to internalize. Because when you learn to be still, you start to see the truth about others and about yourself. You start noticing how much energy people waste trying to be heard. You start realizing how rare composure is. You start seeing that silence isn't emptiness, it's awareness. Let's make this practical. When someone tries to provoke you, pause. When someone attacks your reputation, pause. When someone tries to pull you into drama, pause. That pause is power. That pause separates the reactive from the rational. That pause turns chaos into strategy. You don't have to speak to prove strength. You don't have to explain to prove value. You don't have to shout to prove confidence. You show it through calm. You show it through stillness. You show it through silence. Because silence is restraint, and restraint is control. The world glorifies loud voices, but the truth is, the loudest ones are usually the weakest. The calmest ones, they're dangerous. Because when you're calm, you can think. When you're silent, you can see. When you're in control, you can choose your next move with precision. That's what makes silence a weapon. You can't manipulate someone who doesn't respond. You can't control someone who refuses to react. You can't break someone who knows when to stay quiet. Speak less. See more. Control everything. Silence builds presence. When you enter a room, and don't rush to fill the space with words, people feel your energy. They feel the weight of your composure. They feel the authority of your stillness. Because energy speaks louder than volume. Confidence doesn't need an announcement. It radiates. Think about the most powerful people you've ever seen. They don't chase attention. They attract it. Not by talking more, but by talking less. Their silence draws focus. Their restraint commands respect. That's what you want to build. Quiet authority. The kind that doesn't need validation. The kind that doesn't seek approval. The kind that doesn't respond to noise. That's the discipline. Silence also protects you. The more you talk, the more you reveal. The more you reveal, the easier you are to control. So be careful with your words. Speak only when it improves the silence. Don't tell people your next move. Show them the result. Don't announce your intentions. Execute them in silence. That's how warriors operate. That's how winners move. In silence, you have a choice. You can keep feeding your ego by needing to be heard, or you can feed your strength by mastering the silence. When you stop talking, you start listening. When you stop reacting, you start seeing. When you stop proving, you start growing. And growth happens in silence. When the noise fades, reflection begins. That's where power comes from, not from shouting, but from understanding. You don't need their validation. You don't need their reaction. You don't need their permission. You just need silence. That's the foundation of mental toughness. Composure under chaos. It's not about saying the right thing. It's about saying nothing when everything inside you wants to respond. That's mastery. That's control. That's strength. Silence gives you distance. It lets emotions settle so you can see the truth. When you're silent, you can't be baited, tricked, or provoked. You stay centered. You stay grounded. You stay unshaken. Because silence isn't submission. It's strategy. It's not about weakness. It's about discipline. You don't need to prove you're calm. You live it. You don't need to explain your decisions. You stand by them. You don't need to fight every battle. You win by walking away. That's real power. That's how you become mentally untouchable. When you control your words, you control your world. When you master your silence, you master your mind. And when you master your mind, you can't be touched by the noise around you. Speak less, see more, control everything. Let that phrase repeat in your mind until it becomes your reflex. Because that's the key to command measured silence. When you talk less, you conserve energy. When you conserve energy, you gain focus. When you gain focus, you make sharper decisions. That's the formula for power. That's the discipline that separates thinkers from reactors, leaders from followers, warriors from wanderers. Be deliberate. Be calm. Be silent. You don't have to match the world volume. You don't have to fight noise with noise. You just have to outlast it, because silence always outlasts noise. Stillness always outlasts chaos. Focus always outlasts frenzy. The world screams. You stay silent. The world rushes. You stay still. The world reacts. You remain aware. That's how you win. You've mastered the power of silence. Control through stillness. Strength through restraint. Now, let's elevate that power into something unshakable. Chapter 7. Detachment is emotional armor. Detachment is not cold. It's clear. It's calm. It's controlled. Most people misunderstand detachment. They think it means apathy or distance. But detachment isn't about shutting down your emotions. It's about taking your emotions back from what doesn't deserve them. That's the key. You can care deeply. You can love fully. You can give effort, energy, and attention. But you must never let any of it control you. Because when you become attached, you lose perspective. You stop thinking clearly. You start reacting emotionally. And when you react emotionally, you give away power. The mentally untouchable don't stop caring. They stop clinging. They stop depending. They stop needing outcomes to validate their worth. You have to understand this. Detachment is emotional armor. It's what allows you to stay strong in chaos. It's what allows you to love without losing yourself. It's what allows you to act without attachment to results. When you're detached, you can see the truth. You can make decisions based on discipline, not desperation. You can handle people and situations without losing your center. Because here's what destroys most people. It's not pain. It's attachment to comfort. It's not loss. It's attachment to control. It's not failure. It's attachment to identity. You suffer most when you try to hold on to things that are meant to move. You suffer when you refuse to let go of what's already leaving. You suffer when your peace depends on something outside of yourself. That's why detachment is freedom. You can't control everything, but you can control how much power you give to everything. Care with clarity. Detach with strength. Let that phrase become your mental anchor, because emotional discipline doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being ruled by your feelings. When someone insults you, you don't need to defend yourself. When someone betrays you, you don't need to seek revenge. When life hits you with disappointment, you don't need to fall apart. You simply observe, learn, and move on. That's detachment, and it's the highest form of strength. You have a choice: to be consumed by every emotion that passes through you, or to rise above them, to be reactive to people, or selective with your energy, to live dependent on outcomes, or grounded in your own peace. That's what detachment gives you, emotional independence. It's not about shutting off. It's about staying switched on while remaining in control. When you're detached, people can't manipulate you, because manipulation only works on the emotionally needy. When you're detached, failure can't break you, because failure only hurts those who tie their worth to success. When you're detached, rejection doesn't sting, it reveals, because rejection only wounds those who seek external approval. Care with clarity, detach with strength. You don't need to chase anyone. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to beg for validation. You are not here to please people. You are here to protect your peace. That's emotional armor. When you stop reacting to everything, you start controlling everything. That's what detachment teaches you. Here's the truth. Most chaos is self-inflicted. You give too much access. You give too much attention. You give too much energy to things that don't serve you. Detachment fixes that. It creates space between what happens and how you respond. And that space is where strength lives. Every time you detach, you build mental muscle. You learn not to take things personally. You learn to let life flow instead of forcing it. You learn to find power in patience. Because detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care from a place of awareness, not attachment. You care because you choose to, not because you need to. That's the difference between emotional slavery and emotional mastery. You have to stop letting people pull you out of character. You have to stop letting circumstances dictate your peace. You have to stop letting every loss feel like the end of the world. It's not about what happens. It's about your attachment to what happens. Detach from outcomes. Focus on effort. Detach from opinions. Focus on purpose. Detach from noise. Focus on discipline. That's how you become unshakable. When you practice detachment, you stop reacting to life. You start directing it. You become proactive, not reactive. You become centered, not scattered. You become calm, not chaotic. And here's the beauty of it. When you're detached, your decisions get sharper. Your emotions no longer cloud your judgment. You stop chasing things that drain you. You start attracting things that match your peace. Because energy moves differently when it's not desperate. Care with clarity. Detach with strength. That's your mantra. That's your mental armor. So how do you build it? Start with awareness. Notice what triggers emotional reactions in you. Notice who drains your energy. Notice what situations pull you out of peace. Then step back. Breathe. Don't rush to fix. Don't rush to prove. Don't rush to respond. Pause. Reflect. Choose. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to give energy to everyone. You don't have to fight every battle that invites you. That's what detachment is. A series of quiet choices that preserve your power. And it's a daily practice. You'll slip. You'll get emotional. You'll react. That's fine. The key is to catch yourself faster every time. Detachment is built through repetition, just like strength. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you'll stop chasing closure. You'll stop needing validation. You'll stop attaching your peace to people, things, or outcomes. You'll find power in standing alone. Because true peace comes from inner clarity, not outer control. You'll see that everything is temporary. Every high, every low, every success, every pain. So why cling to any of it? Flow through life. Don't grasp it. That's how warriors move. Unattached, but fully present. Caring, but not consumed. Loving, but not lost. You don't need to detach from life. You need to detach from dependency, from the need to control, from the fear of loss, from the illusion of permanence. Because once you accept impermanence, you stop suffering. Once you stop suffering, you start living. Care with clarity, detach with strength. That's how you protect your peace. That's how you guard your focus. That's how you become mentally untouchable. You've built your emotional armor, calm, detached, clear. Now, it's time to go deeper into the next level of mastery. Because control isn't just about detachment. It's about stability. Let's take that strength even further. Chapter 8. Emotional stability is a superpower. Emotional stability is your greatest weapon in a chaotic world. It's not flashy. It's not loud. But it's rare, and that's what makes it powerful. While others ride emotional roller coasters, high one day, broken the next, you must stand firm, because every emotional swing steals your focus. Every outburst costs you energy. Every reaction pulls you off your path. That's the truth most people ignore. They think emotional expression equals strength, but real power comes from control, not from what you feel, but from what you do with what you feel. That's the key. You can't build anything lasting if you're always at the mercy of your emotions. One bad comment, one disappointment, one setback, and you crumble. That's not power. That's instability. You have a choice. You can live as a reactor or as a ruler. You can let your emotions lead you, or you can lead them, because emotional swings destroy progress. You lose momentum when you can't regulate your state. You lose respect when you can't hold composure. You lose credibility when you can't stay centered under pressure. The calm mind builds momentum. The calm mind sees clearly. The calm mind wins. That's why emotional stability isn't just a trait. It's a superpower. It's what allows you to stay logical when everyone else is panicking. It's what allows you to keep showing up when everyone else quits. It's what allows you to respond strategically instead of emotionally. Stable mind, unshakable life. Repeat that until it becomes truth in your body. Because emotional stability isn't about feeling nothing. It's about mastering response. You still feel anger, sadness, frustration, but you don't let them control your behavior. You process. You pause. You plan. Most people never learn this discipline. They react, explode, regret, repeat. Their emotions lead their life. And that's why they stay stuck in cycles of chaos. You must break that cycle. Here's how. Step 1. Pause before reacting. Every time emotion hits, you have a window, a moment of choice. Use that moment. Breathe. Observe the emotion without becoming it. You don't need to fix the feeling. You just need to contain it. That's the difference between emotional children and emotional warriors. Children react. Warriors respond. Step 2. Separate emotion from action. You can feel disappointment without quitting. You can feel anger without revenge. You can feel anxiety without avoidance. Your feelings are signals, not commands. Read them. Don't obey them. Step 3. Stay steady under pressure. When things get difficult, your calm must get louder, because people trust consistency. And consistency comes from control. The world follows the calm. People naturally lean on the steady one in chaos. That's power. That's leadership. You don't have to raise your voice to be heard. You don't have to overreact to be strong. Stillness commands attention. Stability earns respect. That's what most people miss. It's not the loudest person in the room who holds power. It's the calmest one, Because everyone else burns out trying to prove something. The stable one endures. And endurance wins every time. Stable mind, unshakable life. You build emotional stability the same way you build physical strength. Through resistance. Every test, every setback, every frustrating situation. It's your emotional gym. It's your training ground for control. When you get triggered and hold your calm, that's a rep. When you face disappointment and keep your focus, that's a rep. When someone disrespects you and you stay composed, that's a rep. And over time, those reps build resilience. You don't explode anymore. You don't overthink anymore. You don't chase chaos anymore. You move with balance. You speak with purpose. You live with intention. That's emotional mastery. And it's magnetic because people trust consistency. They follow stability. No one wants to build with someone who's unpredictable. No one wants to confide in someone who can't manage their own reactions. Emotional volatility destroys credibility, but emotional control builds authority. That's why this skill, this discipline, is non-negotiable. You want power? Stay calm. You want respect? Stay steady. You want progress? Stay consistent. It's not about feeling good. It's about staying grounded. It's not about mood. It's about muscle memory. It's not about reacting. It's about responding. You have to train this daily. Wake up early even when you don't feel like it. Show up for your commitments even when motivation fades. Choose peace even when ego screams. That's how you build stability. Through small, consistent acts of discipline. You'll notice that the more stable you become, the quieter your life gets. Because drama can't survive in calm environments. Chaos loses interest when it can't provoke you. And people who thrive on emotional highs will drift away when you stop feeding them energy. That's good. Let them go, because stability filters your circle. You'll start attracting people who move with maturity. You'll start attracting opportunities that require patience and clarity. You'll start building things that last, because now you last. Stable mind, unshakable life. That's your mantra. You have to earn your peace through control. Not control of the world, but control of yourself. Because emotions will always come. Anger, fear, doubt, frustration. But you decide what to do with them. You can either let them run your life, or let them refine you. You can either be reactive or resilient, and that's always your choice. So the next time your emotions rise, stop. Don't let the heat of the moment burn years of progress. Don't let one impulse destroy what discipline built. Don't let temporary feelings make permanent damage. Remember, calm is a weapon. Stillness is strength. Control is freedom. Stable mind. Unshakable life. You don't need to shout. You don't need to chase. You don't need to react. You just need to stay composed. And let your stability do the talking. Because while others are busy proving themselves, you'll be busy mastering yourself. And that's where real power lies, not in reaction, but in restraint. Emotional stability is the foundation of dominance. Because when nothing can shake your state, nothing can stop your growth. So keep building your calm. Keep training your control. Keep choosing steadiness over chaos. Because emotional stability isn't just a superpower. It's your advantage in every room, every relationship, every mission. You've learned to stay calm under pressure. You've learned to control your emotional state. Now, it's time to channel that control into something even deeper, your focus. Because once you master your emotions, the next battle is your attention. And that's where the real war is won. Chapter 9, the still mind wins every battle. The world rewards a mind that stays still when everything else shakes. You can see it everywhere. People lose their temper, lose their focus, lose their composure the second pressure hits. But the one who stays calm, The one who can think clearly when others can't, that's the one who wins. Because true mastery isn't about force, it's about stillness. Stillness under pressure. Stillness in chaos. Stillness when everyone else is reacting. Be still, be sharp, be unshaken. That's your command. The world is noisy. It's designed to provoke you. Everything around you, notifications, opinions, distractions, is trying to pull you out of your center. But you must hold the line. You must protect your peace like it's oxygen. Because the second you lose your stillness, you lose your strategy. And when you lose strategy, you lose the battle. The still mind wins every battle because it sees what emotion blinds others from seeing. When others panic, you plan. When others react, you observe. When others crumble, you calculate. That's the difference between the weak and the wise. The weak feel everything and drown in it. The wise feel the same emotion, but pause long enough to turn it into power. You have a choice. Every day, you can either let the world provoke you or train yourself to stay still through it. Stillness is not an action. It's the most disciplined form of action there is. Because stillness is not about doing nothing. It's about doing only what matters. It's precision over panic. It's patience over impulse. It's power under control. That's the key. When you're still, you see the truth. You see how most people are trapped by their own speed. They rush into decisions. They chase validation. They react to everything that moves. And in their rush, they make mistakes that calm minds would never make. That's why you must train your stillness like a muscle. Because it doesn't come naturally, it's earned. You build stillness in the silence of your morning. You build stillness in the pause before you respond. You build stillness in the decision not to argue when your ego wants to fight. You build stillness in the gym of self-control. Every time you resist reaction, you strengthen your stillness. Every time you breathe before you speak, you expand your power. Every time you stay calm under pressure, you prove to yourself you are in control. Be still, be sharp, be unshaken. Let me be clear. Stillness isn't softness. It's not weakness. It's weaponized calm. Stillness doesn't mean you don't feel emotion. It means emotion doesn't control you. It means you can experience the storm without becoming it. It means you can be surrounded by chaos and still see the next right move. That's what makes it powerful. Think about history. The greatest warriors, leaders, and visionaries all mastered stillness. Marcus Aurelius, Sun Tzu, Miyamoto Musashi. They understood victory begins in the mind. Before any physical battle is won, it's decided internally by the one who keeps calm longest. Because when the mind is still, the path becomes clear. When the mind is still, fear loses its grip. When the mind is still, power consolidates. That's what this chapter is about, control under pressure. You can't control everything around you, but you can control your inner environment. That's where freedom begins. Patience isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's not waiting, it's positioning. You don't rush. You don't chase. You don't react. You position yourself. You let emotion burn out while you prepare. You let time work for you instead of against you. That's how stillness wins. Because every impulsive move you don't make saves energy for a powerful move later. Every reaction you avoid keeps your mind sharp. Every pause you practice builds strategic distance between you and the chaos. That's how generals think. That's how champions move. That's how the mentally untouchable operate. You have a choice to be reactive or to be ready. And readiness always lives inside stillness. When you rush, you lose rhythm. When you react, you lose reasoning. When you stay still, you gain both. Stillness gives you access to your highest intelligence. Because when emotion calms, clarity speaks. You start hearing the truth that chaos hides. You start noticing details others miss. You start making moves that look effortless because they come from composure, not confusion. Be still, be sharp, be unshaken. In a world addicted to noise, stillness is rebellion. Everyone wants to move fast, but fast without focus is failure. Stillness slows time down. It gives you the space to think, to plan, to move with purpose. When you master that, no insult, no stress, no setback can shake you, because your peace doesn't depend on the outside world. It's generated internally. That's what mental mastery looks like. The still mind doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care correctly. You care about what moves you forward, not what drains your focus. And that's how you conserve your power. You stop giving your peace away to opinions. You stop letting temporary emotions dictate permanent choices. You stop reacting to everything that doesn't deserve your attention. That's discipline. That's strength. Because the loudest mind is always the weakest. The calm mind, the still mind is unbreakable. You have to build that in practice. Every day, find moments of stillness. Sit without your phone. Walk without music. Breathe without distraction. Learn to sit in silence until it stops feeling uncomfortable. That's when you start gaining control over your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. Stillness creates distance between you and your reactions. And in that distance, you find freedom. The freedom to choose your response. The freedom to redirect your focus. The freedom to think before you move. Be still. Be sharp. Be unshaken. Because when the world gets loud, your silence will speak volumes. When people panic, your calm will lead them. When chaos rises, your composure will separate you from the crowd. Stillness is confidence without words. It's control without effort. It's power without noise. And that's why the still mind wins every battle, every argument, every challenge, every war within. Because chaos cannot destroy what it cannot disturb. So train your stillness like your life depends on it. Because it does. The one who can stay calm under pressure owns the outcome. The one who can think clearly while others lose their grip dictates the direction. And the one who can remain still in chaos becomes the storm itself. Be still, be sharp, be unshaken. That's your discipline. That's your weapon. That's your power. You've learned the art of stillness, the ability to remain composed no matter the storm. Now, it's time to channel that control into movement, because mental mastery isn't just about standing firm. It's about taking the right action at the right time. Stillness gives you control. Action gives you dominance. Chapter 10. Build an identity that can't be broken. There comes a point when mental toughness stops being something you do and becomes something you are. That's the point where the work becomes identity. And once your identity is built on discipline, not emotion, nothing can break you, because discipline is stable. Emotion isn't. Emotion changes by the hour. Discipline doesn't move. It's who you are, no matter what happens. That's the goal of all mental training. To become the kind of person who doesn't have to force discipline anymore, because it's automatic. It's your default. It's your identity. When you build your identity on discipline, you stop chasing motivation. You stop waiting for inspiration. You stop negotiating with weakness. You just do the work, because it's who you are. That's the key. You have to understand, your identity dictates your behavior. If you see yourself as undisciplined, you'll always find excuses. If you see yourself as consistent, you'll find solutions. It's not about feelings. It's about standards. You rise or fall to the level of your self-image. That's why this chapter is critical. Because if your identity isn't built correctly, every other lesson in this audiobook will eventually collapse. You can't sustain mental toughness with a fragile identity. Let me say that again. You can't sustain mental toughness with a fragile identity. If you define yourself by how you feel, you'll crumble every time life hits harder than your emotions can handle. If you define yourself by results, by winning or losing, you'll always be on unstable ground. You have to define yourself by your discipline, not by the outcome, not by the applause, not by the success, by your consistency, by your commitment to showing up when no one's watching, by the standard you hold when it would be easier to quit. That's what builds an identity that can't be broken. Because the truth is this: life will test you, people will test you, circumstances will test you. And when everything you built starts shaking, the only thing that will hold you together is who you believe you are. If you believe you're fragile, you'll break. If you believe you're built for pressure, you'll rise. That's why you must decide who you are before the test comes. You have a choice. You can be the person who reacts, or the person who responds with discipline. You can be the one who bends to emotion, or the one who bends emotion to your will. You don't need their permission to become the stronger version of yourself. You just need to stop identifying with the weaker one. Most people build their identity out of comfort. They define themselves by what's easy, by what's familiar, by what others say about them. And then they wonder why they keep breaking under pressure. Because when your identity depends on other people, it's not identity, it's insecurity. You must build your identity like a fortress, brick by brick, decision by decision, habit by habit. That's how the unshakable are made. It's not about perfection. It's about principle. You decide who you are, and you reinforce it through your behavior. That's the formula. Identity follows action, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel disciplined. You act disciplined until your brain has no choice but to accept that it's who you are. Don't act like the person you want to be. Become them. You do that through repetition, through ritual, through relentless consistency. Wake up early when you don't want to. Train when you're tired. Control your tone when you're frustrated. Hold your word when no one would blame you for breaking it. Each time you do that, you're carving discipline into your identity. Each act of discipline rewires your sense of self. Each act of control sends a signal to your subconscious. I'm not like the rest. That's how you build the unbreakable. It's not about emotion, it's about evidence. Your brain believes what you repeatedly do. So show it proof. Show it consistency. Show it control. Stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined. Start saying, I am disciplined. Stop saying, I'm learning to be calm. Start saying, I am calm. Stop saying, I'm working on it. Start saying, I am it. Because the way you talk to yourself determines the way you perform under pressure. And pressure exposes identity. That's the key. Anyone can act strong when it's easy, but the mentally untouchable are strong because that's their identity. It's not an act. It's who they are when everything else falls apart. Your identity is the root system of your life. If the roots are shallow, built on validation, emotion, or approval, then one storm will rip you out of the ground. But if your roots are built on discipline, silence, and self-control, no wind can move you. That's why your habits matter. Because every habit is a vote for who you are. Every small choice either reinforces weakness or strengthens your identity. You're casting votes every day. The question is, what are you voting for? Are you voting for comfort or control? For validation or vision? For discipline or doubt? You decide. You have a choice to act in alignment with your highest standard or your lowest excuse. Every moment is a test of identity, and the world will keep testing you until you pass. So stop identifying as the person who's trying. Start identifying as the person who's becoming. Start identifying as the person who does what they say. Start identifying as the person who doesn't break. Because once you believe that the battle is over, No criticism can touch you. No setback can shake you. No chaos can define you, because your identity is fixed not by circumstance, but by conviction. Don't act like the person you want to be. Become them. You become them through structure. You become them through silence. You become them through discipline. Every single day, make decisions that reinforce who you want to be, not what you feel like doing. That's the foundation of mental untouchability. That's the moment where strength stops being effort and becomes essence. That's where emotion stops controlling you and starts serving you. Because when you build your identity on discipline, you don't have to chase toughness anymore. You are toughness. You don't have to fake confidence anymore. You are confidence. You don't have to seek validation anymore. You are validation. That's the final transformation. You stop performing strength and start embodying it. So decide right now who you are. Then act like it until the world believes you. And when it does, you won't need their belief anymore. Because you'll know, you'll feel it in your bones. You'll live it in your choices. That's how you build an identity that can't be broken. That's how you become mentally untouchable. Repetition anchor. Don't act like the person you want to be. Become them. You've walked through discomfort. You've mastered control. You've chosen discipline over emotion, silence over noise, stillness over reaction. Now, it's time to step forward with what you've built, a mind that no chaos can shake. Conclusion, you've just learned the blueprint for becoming mentally untouchable. Now it's time to live it. Life will test you. People will doubt you. You will face failure, rejection, and moments where you want to break. But you won't, because now you know the truth. Your mind is the foundation of your entire life. If you control it, nothing can control you. You don't need to be liked. You don't need to be understood. You don't even need to be comfortable. You just need to stay focused, disciplined, and unshaken. Stop reacting. Start responding. Stop chasing. Start building. Stop folding. Start rising. The world doesn't belong to the smartest. It belongs to the most stable. So from this day forward, build a mind that bends for nothing and breaks for no one. You don't need more motivation. You need mastery. Be still. Be sharp. Be unshaken. Become mentally untouchable.